Every compilation in this book uses at least this line, so it is worth taking it apart once, properly, rather than copying it for the next 400 pages without knowing what it says. GCC-STD equals C17-W all-W extra-O program.c. 4 flags and a file name. 2 of them decide which language you are compiling, 2 of them decide how much the compiler is willing to tell you, and getting the second pair wrong is the single most common reason beginners struggle with C for longer than they need to. -STD equals C17 pins the language to the C17 standard, and just as importantly it switches off the GNU extensions. So code that would only compile with GCC gets flagged rather than silently accepted. -W all enables the common warnings, and here is a piece of trivia that catches everyone despite the name. -W all does not enable all warnings. It never has. -W extra adds a further set of genuinely valuable ones, which is why we always use the pair together. And -O names the output file. Leave it off, and GCC produces a file called a .out, or a .exe on Windows, which is a convention inherited from 1970s Unix where it meant assembler output. 6 more will appear as the book goes on. -G includes debug information, so the debugger can show you your own source code rather than machine instructions. -O2 turns on optimization, which you want for release builds, and you can combine it with -G when profiling. -Pedantic warns about anything that is not strictly standard C, which is stricter again than -STD. -F sanitize equals address, undefined inserts runtime checks for memory errors and undefined behavior. It is superb, it makes your program slower, and it is for development only. -LM links the maths library, and -P thread enables POSIX threads, which you will need in Part 5. 2 of those deserve emphasis right now because they cost people whole evenings. First, -LM. On Linux and Mac OS, calling square root without it produces undefined reference to square root. Read that error carefully, it is a linker error, which means your source code was compiled perfectly and the only problem is that nobody told the linker where the maths library lives. No amount of editing your program will fix it. Add -LM at the end of the command line after the source file because the order matters to the linker. Second, and more important, make -W all -W extra a permanent habit today, not next month. A C compiler with warnings switched off will cheerfully accept code that reads uninitialized memory, ignores a return value that told you something failed, and mixes up types in ways that will corrupt data on a machine you do not own yet. With warnings on, it tells you. The compiler is the most patient reviewer you will ever have, and in C a warning very often means a bug.